do a little bit of a, just come back. I'm decided to go for a walk today, and I'm down at the park and a different park, and got to see watch an eagle catch a fish. It was pretty cool in the river, and then after that, ran into a rattlesnake that was decided he didn't want to get on the blacktop. There's a bike trail. It's a blacktop, and it was hot, and so I think he turned around, and thankfully did. It was about 2.5 feet long, pretty good sized snake. Anyway, um, so yeah, I videotaped him. Um, anyway, um, yeah, so um, pretty cool day today, and I thought I'd talk a little bit about uh, that blue wizard in the woods, the wizard I found in the woods um, sometime back, probably about 20 years ago. Walking in the woods and felt a tug, and it happened like 3 different times, and I finally went home and decided to make a doll. Evidently, that's who wanted to be made, and he ended up looking like Gandalf. So, holy smokes! But I dressed him in blue for whatever reason. Didn't know there were blue wizards that weren't talked about in Lord of the Rings. So anyway, it was kind of cool and interesting, and um, anyway, and then just talking a little bit about coming in contact with the nature spirits, and I took my dog for a walk one time, and I was um, I lived in Cool, California, funny little town. Anyway, I lived in Cool, and I was taking my dog for a walk, and it was springtime. It was pretty outside, and and so we were cruising through. It was a bunch of oak trees and stuff, and so we were walking, and I felt something kind of hop onto my back of my shoulder, and I was like, well, that's kind of interesting. So I went home and I made a gnome. Hi, Garrett. How are you? Um, so yeah, I made him, and so they kind of it kind of, it's funny how they come, and then they just come to me and ask for form. It's shush. Funny. Um, it's super cool, and I wish everybody could experience them. I really do. I just they're just a pile of fun, and they're full of they make me laugh, and they're full of joy, and they're just it's just they just want to play, and they just want to remind us that there's magic all around us, and that we can tap into it anytime we want. And anybody got any questions, I'm like all about answering. So anybody, Bueller, anyone, um, found a really cool feather today. um, yeah so yeah, so I got it. Oh yeah, that was one thing that was kind of cool that happened. I was talking to that we had a fire that wasn't too far from where I lived at the time, and I had a bunch of nature spirits dolls that I had created, and they were all on a cabinet, and and I kind of was curious and just wanted to check and see. I just asked if they would, be helpful, and or if they could be helpful, if they would go help mitigate the fire. And they are elementals, so it makes sense that they would be working with the energy. So, and I asked them if they just keep it from coming in and destroying a bunch of homes. It was out in the wine country, and I actually felt their energy leave. So, which is really pretty awesome. And the fire never spread. And so I found out that, if we ask them for help, they'll give it to us. All we got to do is ask. Um, I just don't even know what to say about that. I think it's pretty freaking cool. And anyway, anyone got any questions? Anyone? Bueller? Like, do you want to see? I got these. I made these dolls and then I put them on a shirt. Pretty cool. Gotta love them. They're fun to do. I saw those guys. I felt them, or I felt the. I don't know. I was driving down the road and I looked over and there was a stand of rocks and it was kind of crazy. It felt like Stonehenge, kind of. And I went home, and that night I tried to go to sleep, and there was no sleep to be had. One doll, at least, the one wanted me to at least get him down on paper before I got to sleep, and then I actually let me go to sleep after that. But I had to get him down on paper, and I was like, okay. And then there were 3 more that came after that. And so I created all of them and put them, like out in the woods, and took a bunch of pictures and whatnot. So they're super fun. Happy little fellas. And anyway, I think I'm gonna bail. If nobody has any questions. Anyone? Nope. Yes? No? Okay. Have a good day, you guys. Thanks for stopping by. Yep, I do want to stop